Meet Andrew, the first chosen and steadfast leader who placed his trust fully in Yeshua. Get ready to dive into his inspiring story. Andrew was the first man Jesus personally called to be an apostle. He was born in the busy fishing town of Capernaum and grew up in a family of 5 himself. His younger brother, Simon, later called Peter, and 3 sisters. Their father, now deceased, had run a fish drying business with Zebedee in nearby Bethsaida. When Andrew accepted Jesus' call, he was single and living with Simon's household. Both brothers worked as fishermen and were business partners with James and John, the sons of Zebedee. When Jesus called him in AD 26, Andrew was 33, a year older than Jesus and the oldest of the 12 apostles. He came from a respected family and was the most capable, all-round leader of the group, excelling in almost everything except public speaking. The other apostles soon started calling him chief. Much as they called Jesus master, Andrew was a born organizer. And an even better administrator. Jesus placed him in charge of the entire apostolic group, which meant Andrew had to stay with the team to keep things running smoothly, while the other 3 of Jesus' inner circle, Peter, James, and John, often went with the master for private times of prayer. Right to the end, Andrew remained the steady dean of the apostles. Though not a dynamic preacher, Andrew was an outstanding one-on-one worker. He set the pattern of personal evangelism from the start by immediately bringing his brother, Simon, to Jesus, and Simon later became one of the greatest preachers of the movement. Andrew strongly supported Jesus' emphasis on personal contact as the main way of training the 12 to be messengers of the kingdom. Andrew always had a clear understanding of what was happening, whether Jesus was teaching the multitudes or instructing the 12 in private. He made prompt decisions on issues within his authority and quickly brought larger matters to Jesus. Andrew and Peter were very different in personality, but worked together remarkably well. Andrew was never jealous of Peter's powerful preaching. After the day of Pentecost, when Peter's sermon led 2,000 people to faith, Andrew simply said, "I couldn't have done that, but I'm so glad my brother could." And Peter replied, "If you hadn't brought me to the Master and kept me close to him, I wouldn't be here to do this." They proved that even brothers can cooperate without rivalry. Even after Peter became famous, Andrew was never bothered about being introduced as Simon Peter's brother. Among all the apostles, Andrew had the sharpest sense for people. He sensed trouble in Judas Iscariot's heart long before anyone else did, but chose not to spread suspicion. His biggest contribution to the kingdom was advising Peter, James, and John in selecting the first missionaries and guiding them in setting up the kingdom's early administration. He had a special gift for spotting hidden abilities in young people. Shortly after Jesus' ascension, Andrew began writing down a personal record of Jesus' sayings and actions. Copies circulated among early Christian teachers and were gradually edited and expanded into a continuous account of Jesus' life. The last known copy was destroyed in a fire in Alexandria about a century after Andrew first wrote it. Andrew was a man of clear insight, logical thinking, and firm decisions. His greatest strength was stability. His main weakness was a lack of enthusiasm. He rarely encouraged others with praise because he disliked flattery and insincerity. He was an even-tempered, self-made man who lived modestly and successfully. All the apostles loved Jesus, but each was drawn to him for different reasons. Andrew especially admired Jesus for his unshakable sincerity and natural dignity. Once someone truly knew Jesus, they couldn't help wanting to share him with others, and Andrew was no exception. After persecution scattered the apostles, Andrew traveled through Armenia, Asia Minor, and Macedonia, leading thousands into the kingdom. In Patriarchia, he was arrested and crucified. This strong man endured 2 full days on the cross, still proclaiming the good news of God's kingdom to the very end. Let's walk in Andrew's footsteps together, humble, steady, and full of heart. Follow 4 more true life stories of Yeshua's friends that still inspire us today. Thank you for walking with me in knowing Andrew a little bit more. Up next, we'll dive into the life of Simon Peter, Andrew's younger brother and one of the boldest voices among the apostles. Join me tomorrow as we continue this journey together. Until then, take care and God bless.